The Jamboys veterans team, and we say veterans in the oldest possible term, start the match through Willie Walker, and it's game on as the Jamboys thunder in against Waiuku. Short side they come in front of the stand. Magnificent occasion here in Bangkok as the referee quickly awards a penalty to Waiuku, who in a stunning result took out Southbridge in the semi-final to make the final here, repeating the effort on last year. This time against the Jamboys. Nice bit of work in the breakdown. They cleaned that up so well they could probably get a job at the 4 Point Sheridan. Again, the Jamboys cheating, basically, is what the referee is saying. Careless play. Well, when it's 30-something degrees, never mind the temperature in your private region, which must be excruciating at the moment. Things will be swimming, I suspect. As we come down to the first line out of the game, posted up inside, just inside the Jamboy half. Bangkok International Rugby 10's Supremo, Eddie Evans, posted up in the hooker position in the front for the Jamboys. He tries to sneak through and influence the halfback, and in the end just shoves him in the back. There's Waiuku trundling up the middle of the park. Now the Jamboys go in and steal it out of the boot. Evans it is, and shuffles it along. Now they try and give it some space. The Jamboys, he's going for both gears. He's hit both gears. A flick back on the inside, and the Jamboys open up the score in the 2016 final. The veterans team showing age and experience and a last burst of pace are pretty good. In fact, this isn't the Waiuku side at all. It's the Hannibal Dynamiters. And this might be the old Cox team. Well, I apologise to Waiuku. And the population of Waiuku has been taken down by some 90% since the rugby team left. I was pretty sure that Waiuku had some Fijians playing for them. In fact, everyone's got Fijians playing for them. Willie Walker, the fireman from Auckland, hoist one high and it comes back to Evans, the silky smooth skills of Evans, and they set themselves into space again, the Jamboys, but they can't. They exploit the wide channel. As that old Cock defence snuffs out any potential. And the Jamboys go back to a reset, a scrum reset now, just inside the 10-metre line of the old Cox. Referee making sure that someone's hanging on to something. Someone's hanging on to somebody. In a game like this, everybody needs somebody. The old Cox spread it wide, and not just in Bangkok. Ball is there. Now they move it. The old Cox through their hands. Oh, lovely play by the old Cox. Tremendous work. And the old Cox through the hand. They're going pretty well. Certainly, I think they've probably got a better passing game than they do have a kicking game. There's the Jamboys through Evans now, prepared to feed the line out, and they do. Taken though by the old Cox. And eventually rumbled into touch. So it's still just the one try in this veterans final. Willie Walker organising the players out the back. There's another line out restart midway, halfway in 10 metre on the Old Cock line. You can see the seam from here. Tapped well off the back by the Jam boys. Walker at the line, he slips through off to Siu. He looks to say Siu, but he can't, and he's not as quick as he used to be. And there's probably about a myth about his original speed anyway. Ball bounces down. The Old Cocks have it now. The Old Cocks just playing with it. Find a bit of space. Jam boys, they thunder in and fill up any gaps in the defence and snuff out the attack. And three of the Old Cocks have got their hands up as they hit the subs bench. And that's a smart move, just to keep those players rolling out. There's the Old Cocks now, spread it in the midfield, off their own 22. Still thundering away. Ball is available. Back towards the point, up and over the ruck. Straight into the loving arms of the Jam boys. They maintain their line. Ball spills under the referee's gaze. Evans is around. There's going to be some trouble. They go wide on the outside. And a forward pass in the last transfer. And under no pressure at all, he's basically cocked that right up. As the Old Cocks potentially look to the bench again, and they might have wheeled, they might have brought in a speed merchant. As he trundles out, there's a front row change, so the athletic ability of the Old Cocks has improved. So there's the real estate on the shorts. If any sponsors looking for some big billboards this weekend. Front rowers, except no substitute. Old Cocks. Up to the line. Siu thumping tackle. Pick and go. Willie Walker making the tackle. They just keep driving the one way. Here they come. There they go. What's a big hit. A driving tackle from the Jam boys. And suddenly the Old Cocks, well, find themselves on the back foot. They are sneaky and they're just wilting under the pressure, the Old Cocks. And after starting off as Waiuku, the Old Cocks might want to go back there. Perhaps I can help them out by taking the wrong name. It's hard to deny now, though. One and only Martin Turner prepares to throw the ball into the line. Taken at the front by the Jam boys. Leg spin put on the ball. Bends back towards the Old Cocks back line. And that is a half-time break. And as they take it to the break, it is in fact a 1-try-to-0 advantage to the Jam boys. As we prepare for a restart, courtesy of the team, the Hamilton Dynamiters, Old Cocks, and away they go. Kick-off calmly taken by the Jam boy vets, and they light it up, taken into the midfield. Quick ruck and roll from the Jam boys, but a penalty awarded to them, and the Old Cocks now decide to take the Jam boys up where they think they might be a little bit weak. And that's directly up the middle. But they'll run directly into Eddie Evans, who goes to ground drops the shoulder on the knee and earns himself a slice of cheese. Eddie Evans sent from the field for 10 minutes for a period of quiet reflection and honesty as he reconciles within himself the possibility of giving his team a massive disadvantage. Although many would disagree with that statement. Evans gone for the match, one would think, but not this man. And here is class personified. Egan seconds, and the guy chasing him will be second as Egon runs in first, and it's 2 tries to 0 as the old cocks of the Hamilton Dynamiters press the button and start sending in the fresh reserves. And Egan seconds, what to try that was, just showing the class. And he's a different class and he's a different pace. And the conversion was woeful, to be honest. But you can't do it all when you've done it all. And he's currently being fast-tracked in the South African system as a up-and-coming referee. So he is a fully fledged member of the third sex in the rugby universe. Willie Walker's kick, difficult. Bounces awkwardly. Presses the old cocks deep into their own quarter, and they've got to box their way out of the pocket here if they can. And in drop the Jam boys, and they earn the turnover. So a very, very, very cunning kick from the wily old Willie. Sends the cocks into the pocket, and they can't get their cocks out of the pocket. And Dynamiters forced now. They have to try and back themselves in a heavily defensive position. Some changes made by the Jam boys. They look fit and eager and very willing indeed as Willie Walker adjusts the mix in the forwards. Of course, lacking Eddie Evans, who inexplicably has been sent from the field as a punishment for what looked to be an extraordinarily dangerous tackle, or lack of tackle with no arms, just simply using the full head on the knee. Walker steps and tries to offload Sonny Billstyle back on the inside. The knock-on has been awarded, and it'll be to restart the scrum in a very, very handy position. As we look on, and it's Evans back into the fray. He's served his period of time of solitary confinement, probably amongst the Hooters girls. What a magnificent team they've been here this weekend, a real hit with the crowd of all ages. Getting some glamour and some excitement for the weekend. Now, friends from Hooters, as the ball comes back now for Walker. Walker to the gap, the chip and chase, the chip and case, and it's a 22 dropout. So no one really following through on that with any kind of purpose. And the Jam boys wasting an opportunity there as the restart happens 5 metres out. So they maintain the pressure on the old cocks. The old cocks still can't get off their line, no matter how hard the old cocks try. And it's Walker again, and he feeds seconds, and seconds goes in for his second. And that wouldn't be for the first time in his career. And he'll get a second kick to see if he gets his first after his second, for his second, and indeed second does. So the Jam boys now putting the old cocks to the sword. And all of a sudden, the old cocks are starting to leak tries. So a goodly crowd have gathered here today to watch this Veterans Final of 2016 as Egon seconds. Doesn't quite travel the 10, but the old cocks play on with it on anyway. Hamilton now looking to try and breach the Jam boy 10 metre line. They pull up to it. Switch play back towards the grandstand side. Jam boys stay on top of them. Jam boys push on. Now up and over the 10 metre. The loop back on the inside. Picked off by one of the Jam boys, but he's come from an offside position. And they're fairly lax about the offside position here in Bangkok. So he'll be quite rightly feeling a little bit aggrieved that he's been pulled up as a result, probably for the first time this weekend. But it is a final, and it's an important final at the Bangkok International Rugby 10's. No laughing matter as the Hamilton Dynamiters, Old Cocks, take a line-out opportunity. In fact, they'll take a short-arm restart, and they take it quickly. So here come the Old Cocks. Oh, it's on the ground from the Old Cocks. Now they whip it wide. Hamilton in, cleaning the situation out. Parked up in front of the sticks. Balls come loose. The Old Cocks towards the sticks. They only know one way. It's to go straight and hard. And they go out wide. And they find some space. The Old Cocks flirting with the line. Flirting with any line. And finally the Jam boys roll them into touch. Defending their line and defending that nil score that they've got over Hamilton at the moment. Line out restart. Eventually tapped them down by the Jam boys, and off their own line they come. Good hard yards made by the Jam boys, not releasing. So they've forced a penalty out of the Old Cocks. And the Old Cocks go back towards the Jam boy 10 metre line. And the referee comes a bit of a gutser, to be honest. That was a shocking display of athleticism. It was a great display of non-athleticism. Through they come, the Old Cocks, through the middle of the line. Now they get it and turn over. And they punch it back hard to the spot from whence it came. A turnover by the Jam boys, and they could be in trouble here, the Old Cocks. As he takes on the line and tries to fire it wide, it's a loose ball, and quite possibly the abilities and ambitions of both sides starting to get a little bit misconstrued, maybe even diverging.
Coming up for Hamilton, Stormers coach Robbie Cliff, who flew out late last night to join the team for today. Thank you, well done on winning the balls. Lovely to have you here in Thailand.
So, the restart, the line out, taken round the front. The 2016 Vets final ends up in a free kick for the Jam boys. Walker finds the first runner. Pick and go by the Jam boys. Good heavy defence by the Old Cock. Still in there, trying to get his hands on it is Willie Walker. Spoiling tactics though from the men from Hamilton. Now on the 10 metre line, 20 in from the far touch. Footwork to bring it loose. Wide they go over the top, Walker ball in hand, kicks through the line. Well, that's a great bit of work by the Jam boys. As the offload puts a young speedster into space. And he can't be young if he's in the Vets, but he looks young. And a lot of these Asian guys do. And so, The Jam Boys load another one up over the Hamilton Dynamiters Old Cock. The conversion is there. Referee blows full time in this 2016 final, and it is in fact a win to the Jam Boys.
And to those from Cape Town, the wonderful men from Hamilton,
The Jam Boys triumphant